Welcome to a tutorial video on CSS basics. In this video I'm going to cover cascading and tags. To start with, I have a very simple HTML document. Within the body I have an H1 tag around some text. This is a heading. A paragraph tag around the text. This is a paragraph. I also have some extra text. This is some other text that's just within the body tag but isn't within any others. Within the header here I'm using a link tag to pull in a style sheet. Notice its attribute rel, relationship is style sheet, and the reference is style.css. This CSS ending is our style sheet, and in fact I'll move over to that right now. Within style.css are our cascading style sheet rules, or CSS rules. We have three of them here. CSS rules are defined with some type of selector, and then opening and closing curly brackets, and then some rules that define how it should appear. CSS rules affect the presentation of text and other elements within the running of an HTML document. When it is displayed to a user, the CSS affects how that is presented and how it is displayed. We have three different rules here, three different selectors, as I mentioned. In this case, we're using tags. One type of CSS selector, something that selects something within a document, is a tag. In this case, I'm using body tag, starting here on line 1, the H1 tag on line 4, and the paragraph tag starting on line 7. I've defined three different rules, one rule for each of these. For the first one, for the body tag and any elements within it, I've said use the color gray. For the H1 tag, I've said use the color green, and for the paragraph tag, use the color red. Let's see what this looks like. As we see here, green, red, and gray. So what exactly is happening here? Well, Cascading StyleSheets gets its name from the act of cascading. That is, it moves down from parent to child element. For example, I have a selector using the body tag. The rule color gray starts with body and then would move into H1 and would move into paragraph because those are child elements of a parent body. However, I've set different rules, one for H1 and one for paragraph, that override those rules. However, I did not set a rule for this text. This is some other text on line 9 here, and so that was gray. Cascading style sheets and the idea of cascading rules then cascade down from parent to child to child to child to child until there are no other tags or elements for which those rules can be applied. So in this case, and without the H1 or paragraph rules, all of this text would be gray. And in fact, we can see that. If I change this file, if I take out this, save it, and then go back, we can see now this is all gray because those rules cascaded down from body to H1 and from body to paragraph. Coming back, if I edit, undo, edit, undo, edit, undo, now file, save, and we go back and look at those changes again, we see now green, red, and gray. So, as a review, we can use the link element or the link tag within HTML to pull in a style sheet. We can define style sheets by using the CSS ending. We can name this whatever we want, but it's often helpful to name this style or styles or something like that to help us organize our files. So we're using the link element, the attribute style sheet as a relationship, rel. Its hyperreference, its location relative to this document, is in the same folder or directory, so it's style.css. And within the style.css file are three different rules, each one put to a tag selector. In this, as a review, the first one starting on line 1 is the body tag with rules for how things should appear within the body and its children. Starting on line 4 is an H1 rule for how text should appear within H1 and any of its children. And finally, on line 7 is the paragraph and any rules corresponding to the paragraph tag and any rules that would then apply to its children. And as we talked about with cascading, rules cascade down from parent to child element. So without the rules defined on line 5 and the rule defined on line 8, all of the text would be gray. However, the latest rule and whatever element it's found in always overrides any generalized or previously set rules. So H1 is green, paragraph is red. All other text without rules to specify otherwise are the gray that we set to the body because those elements, that content, is within the body and thus the rules cascaded down from body to the element in which that text was found. Thanks for watching.